Facebook.
Wow.
Yeah. We're live officially.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have my cup, but it's okay.
Where's your tea, Janelle?
I don't know. I didn't make it. I just finished eating though, so I'm good. I ate
Something
dinner.
delicious, I hope.
Yeah, what did you have?
I had pesto ravioli.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Did not invite us.
that's so rude.
It
Well,
was so good.
we're excited to do another episode. This is episode 6. Seven.
Oh, yeah,
Seven.
6.
Oh no,
Is
6.
it 7?
Oh my god, I'm confused
Oh
now.
Lord, we've yeah.
We don't know.
We're gonna
Either
have to
one
count.
of us.
I don't know. I'm like,
6.5, maybe.
I don't know. Maybe somebody can help us. No, so we're excited to have you because
Thank you for having me.
Janelle and I both love food so much that we were even asking you behind the scenes. We're like, did you bring something?
I know, it's terrible. You can scold me for that. I had plans. It didn't happen, but next time.
So you'll have to come back again.
Yes.
And give us first talk about it, explain what you do, and then you come back and we're gonna give you a 1 to 10.
Oh yeah,
rating.
maybe I'll bring a number of them, and you guys can do a little taste test.
Ooh, I like that.
Judge for yourself what you like better.
Isn't that a good job, Janelle?
Yes. Well, first, I guess we have to introduce Elizabeth. Some people don't know who she is. So I can introduce, I guess, just for just very brief. So Elizabeth Freeman, she is a young woman entrepreneur, founder and head chef of Flaky Salt Desserts. And she combines her love for baking and fitness to create protein-based desserts inspired by French culinary technique. Amazing, right? And I think it's really cool that you combine like fitness and your baking passions together. So that's amazing. That's why we have you on, because we're all about fitness, and we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
So we want to know, Janelle and I, we were talking about you, and we thought, how do you pack so much flavor in your desserts? Like, how do you make something because I've had the honor to taste them. No, she didn't bring some today.
I have not.
We're gonna hate you all night for that. But
so Lorena can only
but
tell you.
I've been there when she's actually I've been to your kitchen, but I've also tasted your desserts, and they don't taste like, when you taste healthy food, you taste like really, you're like, oh, this has to be healthy because it tastes like sand.
Yeah, for sure.
And yours tastes so good, so rich, and it's good for you. So I don't feel that guilty. I don't have to go do an hour at Peloton.
Yeah. So I mean, that was ultimately my goal. Like Janelle mentioned, I mean, I've always been a baker since I was, I'd say, 7 years old. So I've always had a passion for it. And when I started off baking, I really gravitated towards French techniques and making all sorts of pastries like eclairs and macaroons and all sorts of things. And later in my life, I was really trying to find a way to combine my love for fitness with baking, and notice that, like you mentioned, when you're looking for something post-workout, you tend to go for like a fitness bar, a nutrition bar, and it tastes kind of bland, or it's super obvious that, there's this weird taste that they have, and it's almost like usually because there's no sugar or whatever they put in it, that just has a almost like stale taste. So I tried to, by experimenting kind of back and forth, I finally kind of figured out recipes that would have a really good balance between, this delicious, French dessert that you would go to a patisserie and enjoy because it's so beautiful, combined with, really good ingredients, all natural, all organic. A lot of the ingredients I try to put from like locally sourced farms, and also using proteins that are really good for you. So there's the complete amino profile in every single dessert that I make. So yeah, that's the delicious
how you make the
and
delicious.
good for you. Yeah.
And tell us about, so you started when you were young, like did you have because you're from Bulgaria, correct?
Well, actually my parents, my whole family's from Bulgaria,
Okay.
but I was born and raised here. So yeah.
And who was a baker in your family? Or
nobody. It's
Okay.
funny because my mom would always just make fun of me, and she just would never understand. She's like, oh my God, it's so messy. Like, because at that time when I was younger, obviously I didn't know like how to keep my kitchen, clean. I was just I kid you not, like chocolate on the ceiling, and somehow made such a mess at all times. And she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know why you do baking. But yeah, I fell in love with it over time. I learned like, how to keep everything organized and whatnot. And I just love the science of it. My family is into the more cooking side and the experimenting of kind of loosely, putting ingredients together. And I just love the precision that goes into baking. So yeah, only me in the family, I suppose.
Awesome. It's crazy how when you have something that you love, or like, your gift, everybody has a gift, you just do it so naturally.
Yeah,
You just and you like it, you enjoy it, because like when we're talking about it, I just see you light up, kind of like when we talk about dance or Pilates, we light up. Tell me something about, I don't know, taxes, and I'm gonna shut down. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have you, light up about baking, and
yeah, I think
that passion.
When I'm thinking about it, I've always been an artistic person growing up, and I mean, my background is in fine art, so I really, I do a lot of painting, and ever since I was little, I was always into drawing. And I guess I fell into baking because it was a way to like create pieces of art that people actually can enjoy and experience, and that was just my form of, art creation in some way. And so also the fact that you're able to make something and celebrate with it and bring it to, an event and a milestone in somebody's life, and bring people together with one thing that is beautiful and amazing in taste. It really brought a lot of joy, and it still brings a lot of joy for me. So yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah. So, well, we asked you about your desserts and you told us that, but I know you had a webzine sometime in 2003 that you started. So what inspired you to start that?
Oh, wait. That is,
I wish I had a webzine, but I'm not sure.
That is
It's really cool.
Yeah, I don't think
we didn't get that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I looked over this thing. Okay, sorry. You are.
It goes.
Why am I looking at the wrong thing?
So
Lorena.
Sorry. I know, I confused her because I sent her.
Maybe that's like inspiration. Maybe I should start a webzine.
I don't even know what the
webzine
is. That would be.
I don't even know
awesome.
What is a webzine?
That's
the next one. Yeah.
It's a magazine that's on the web. That's cool. Our next guest for the next one. Stay tuned. Yeah, see, we are live, guys. We definitely mess up here. So, okay. Second question, the right one. So, how did fitness become your passion? In the beginning, how did you get into fitness? And yeah, what drew you to that? Like how did it start?
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily say like my family is huge on fitness. We have our own sports. So growing up, I kind of gravitated towards gymnastics actually for about 10 years when I was little, which was something I love to do. And I even did some like circus classes, and I had this thing growing up where I was like, I'm gonna join this Cirque du Soleil. That's like my goal in life, and that's kind of where fitness became part of my life. And the rest of my family is more into like tennis and kind of the high end, I guess, sports. But I was just like, I really want to do something unique and different. And so I did that for a little while, and kind of fell out of that. And as someone who lives in LA, there's a lot of places to hike. So that became something I really love to do, and just kind of have a moment to walk around and be, by myself and explore nature. So kind of obsessed over that, just to get out of like this space of like constant like working on the computer. And it made such a difference in my life. And the more and more I did it, and now it's like every day that I do fitness in some capacity, I realize if I miss one day, then I kind of am not in a good mental headspace. So it really became a thing that was so important for me, and it still is, no matter what it is. I mean, no matter what kind of activity I do, I always try and find a way to get out of the house. And, it's easy to just kind of sit on the floor and like do a bunch of crunches, but, just being out in nature, or, taking a walk around the neighborhood or whatever it is, I'm, a huge advocate for. And so that slowly became, almost an obsession now. And now we're working at the same gym at G-Way Fitness, and I just can't get enough of it. The community there is really what pushes me and makes me fall in love with fitness even more. I think that's huge. If you don't have like a small group of people, it can be really hard to like, in a sense, motivate yourself, because you're your own person being like, okay, I need to, work out for 30 minutes a day, and I'm going to do these exercises, or maybe I'll watch somebody. But it's such a difference when you have a group of people that are just as excited about, whatever it is, whether it's a sport or working out and doing a class, and then kind of interacting with them. That's really where that spark happens.
She's teaching at G-Way. So she's doing like the beauty bar class. Yeah, and she's also doing a lot of boxing. You do a lot of boxing.
Yes, that became a recent thing in my
show your scars.
I have some scars. I don't know if you can see it, but I fell into that. My boyfriend, obviously, he was in your podcast, so he introduced me to the world of boxing, and
you're good at it.
Thank you. It's not even been a year, but I appreciate it. It's super fun, and I definitely see there's a difference between just like doing normal workouts versus finding a sport and like falling in love with it and doing it kind of consistently, because you feel like you're doing something special and something that not most people can do. And dancing is one of them. It's like, you just feel kind of like, oh, this is the little edge I have over, the daily person. I don't know. I just feel,
And she was one of our, let's talk. Remember when we did our live together, like Bollywood and like dance?
Yes.
She did it with us.
Loved it. Although like I can't, move my hips the way like yesterday. Oh my gosh, yesterday when we had the Zumba class with Lorena, that was super fun, by the way. And we did all sorts of things. We did all sorts of dance styles, and one of them was belly dancing, which reminded me of the Bollywood. And I was like, there is no way I can move my hips the way that you're doing. I was just like, all right, I don't know, like I can do salsa, but I don't know, this is on another level. Like
So it's fun that you got into this world, and you're bringing a passion of desserts, because sometimes she brings the desserts.
Yes, that's where it started.
To the gym. Yeah. You're like, here, work out and have my desserts. Exactly. They're protein.
But they're healthy. They're healthy.
They're healthy.
That's
exactly.
It was just why not? That's the perfect community to introduce desserts into. These people are like, what do you
Definitely.
want after a workout? Something that is nutritious is also something that you're like, oh my God, I'm exhausted and my blood sugar is
Give me a
low
protein
and I
ball.
need something. Yeah.
How did you come up? Well, now that we got that, how did you come up with flaky, salty desserts? Like, how did that
Yeah.
come together?
The name itself.
Yeah, the name.
I was trying to come up with something unique, obviously, and interesting, and flaky salt. So with desserts, there needs to be like a perfect balance, almost like the ultimate goal is to have like an umami effect when you're taking a bite. So the perfect balance between like sweet and salty and like something that's almost euphoric. And so with desserts, I'm a huge advocate for seasoning them. And when I mean seasoning, it's adding salt to them and adding that like extra dimension. So I use a lot of like flaky salt, which is actually, versus the little granular salt. So it also adds like a really cool, finishing look to.
So do you do this?
Yeah, I do the salt bay, like, but exactly. I just go, that's how I add it.
No, but there's a difference between the rock salt and then there's
there's
salt?
many different types of salt, actually.
There's Himalayan salt.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
So many.
Yeah. But the flaky salt is like literally little like tiny shards that are almost like chipped off from the salt rock. Whereas the one that you buy, like the Morton's like sea salt, that's like fine little granules, that's like super, super just really, really high on salt flavor.
Yeah, like when you bite something, it's like a lot of salt.
Yeah, it's intense. So the flaky salt adds just like a pop of
salt
of seasoning or taste rather than like this intensity that like a granular.
That makes sense. I'm gonna have to do that with my cookies.
Yes, totally. With the cookies especially, that adds I had a cookie today actually that was with it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. It was just like perfect. Like, and this is what I do. I'm like, my excuse is going around to like bakeries. I'm like, I deserve this. I need to like taste test. So maybe this is for research.
Research like, part of your job. It's part of your business.
For research to be like, all right, well, maybe I'll, get inspired. In reality, sometimes I'm like there just because I have a major sweet tooth, but
my gosh, don't worry. Exactly. And we love to hike. All Janelle and I.
Perfect balance.
We're gonna have to invite you to our hikes.
Yes, perfect balance. Enjoy your vices, your sugary desserts if you want, but you have to balance it out with a workout. You can't just overindulge and
at all. You can't.
Yes.
No, 100%. I agree with that. Let's do. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next question. Any advice for the first time bakers out there, like somebody that wants to start baking or get into it or start a new business into baking? Like, I know you just started, but any advice that you will give them, something, tips that helped you?
So I guess there are two parts questions. So like as a first time baker, I would suggest when I first started out, it was a lot of kind of reading recipes, something that looks delicious to you, and kind of repeating it, like following it like step by step, and just kind of practicing. I think you need to maybe look at easier recipes like a chocolate chip cookie or something, and don't go into this I'm overly ambitious and I'm gonna do something like I don't know, crepe cake or something intense, because then it's easy to kind of be discouraged. And I can't tell me how many times I don't have a culinary background, so that's kind of different, and I'm self-taught. So I can't tell you how many times even now that I would spend like 10 hours on a dessert only for it at the end to fail. And it's like 4 a.m. in the morning. And you just have to be like, okay, cool. Like this, now I have to throw away everything. So it really is a matter of patience. And if you love it, if you're passionate about it, give yourself that and just practice, and practice will make perfect. And you're not gonna like overnight be an amazing baker. So, I think that what's awesome about baking is that it is scientific. So, if you literally just follow the ingredients for the most part, or these steps for the most part, you'll kind of end up with the results. And then you can kind of, fudge the ingredients and swap them out. So with that, I would say it's just kind of practice, and be okay with failure. And that's, I think, with anything in life. And then,
like, do you save your measurements? Like, okay, this exactly.
Yeah.
If this worked this way, I'm not going to do it the other way.
That's a good question. If I'm coming up with my own recipes, I do. Like for the tarts themselves, I do have to kind of make adjustments slightly, especially since these are very much on the healthy side and more like protein based versus a traditional dessert where you can throw a bunch of sugar and butter into it, right, and then just kind of be like, okay, I'm sure it's going to taste good, Paula Deen, but yeah, I think that's kind of comes later, where you can make those, you can start experimenting. But I think when you're first starting out, it's just kind of what's helpful is if you can watch like somebody's videos and like rewatch. That's what I was doing when I was younger. I was obsessed with Food Network channel and like watching people do like step-by-steps on how to make something, and I would watch it over and over again and be like, okay, I know how to do this now. And then I would read the recipe, and then I'm able to kind of visualize what the end product is.
So I didn't know that.
Speaking of which, I was always annoyed by like recipe books that never had pictures in it, because I'm like, I need to know what it looks like at the end. Like, you can't just tell me there's, make this chocolate cake and, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. So, I think aiming for something that you're able to see a visual like image or a video of like what it's supposed to look like, then that's kind of helpful for first time bakers. And in terms of starting out a business, if you're a baker and you're trying to figure out how to get started, I actually struggled with this for a while, because I feel like I tend to overthink things, coming from an events background as well. So there's always these like logistics of like, okay, well, branding and like, how am I going to promote something? And then like, how am I going to ship it? Or, all these like the business plan. And it gets really overwhelming if you think about all this stuff. And that can really paralyze someone. And you spend months and months, even years before you start.
Because you get overwhelmed in those.
Exactly.
Because you start comparing yourself also. And you
compare
can't
yourself. And then you're just like, you overthink things, and you're like, well, I want it to look this way, and it has to, and some reason like you want it to be this perfect thing from the get-go. Right. And I don't know if you guys have dealt with that. Even
we deal with that with Pilates.
Yeah. And I think with like any business, it's important to just start. We are living in the world now where there's so many entrepreneurs and new businesses, small businesses that are starting up every day. And it's just a matter of, starting somewhere. So, for me, it was just starting on Instagram, just posting pictures and not really doing it because, I want to get that first sale within like a week. It's more like, I'm going to show my creations for my own sake, because I'm proud of them. And, if somebody likes them, then great. And then slowly build off of that, and then, learn to make some tweaks over time, or start, okay, you've been posting for a couple weeks, maybe then is the time to make a website. But never, you shouldn't feel overwhelmed that you have to accomplish all of these things in one go on the day you launch, because then you're never going to start. So yeah,
that's a great advice, because you start putting a lot of to-do lists and never finish the to-do list, because you just start it. And we do that, Janelle and I.
We're guilty for sure.
Yeah,
we've done that in the past for sure.
And that's a great advice, to just start, just whatever, that's why I have this humble
start
shitty,
before you're
it's
ready.
all good enough. Like just do it. Just do it. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Something I like about your desserts, because I think our audience don't know, like if you guys don't know Elizabeth, her desserts are not like the typical, like we're not talking about just cakes and like it's a tart, but the tart is not like, oh, an apple pie. No, it has like this creativity.
Art.
It's so much art. I don't know if you guys saw in my Instagram, I reposted some of her desserts, because it's like they all have a theme, and you can always custom make it, right? And of course, I'm going to pitch in the one that she made for me. And that's why I'm wearing my little pineapple earrings, because she actually made the pink. Okay, so there was pink pineapple hype on TikTok.
Yes.
You see, I'm still hip and cool. I still know what TikTok is. And TikTok, they were saying how like it was this pink pineapple that only like they were like 30 years of developing or something like that, something crazy.
Yeah.
So she gets one, and I think you have to they have to ship it to your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she creates a Lorena. What did you call it?
Lorena, yeah.
The Lorena, and it's pink pineapple.
Lorena.
Yeah, the Lorena. I'm
so proud.
Just like your earrings.
I'm gonna bring it out so the people can see it. But if you guys
did you name it after Lorena? Is that why?
What's funny is that when I first started Flaky Salt, she was like one of the biggest supporters of the dessert shop, and she's like, yeah, bring me some stuff, and please promise me you'll name a dessert after me. And I was like, okay, I promise. And so over the course of like doing a few tarts, and I was like, oh, this pink pineapple, oh, it's so interesting. And I think you had DM'd me a picture of like, oh, there's this pink pineapple out in the market, and I was like, this is it. I'm naming it after Lorena. There's no
I don't know if you guys could see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a justice because it's over the phone.
Right.
But go into her Instagram, check it out, because it's called the Lorena, and it has a lot of so it has pineapple, orange, and passion fruit. I love passion fruit. I never told her that, so I was really excited.
Yeah, definitely made me think of her.
Awesome.
I was hoping she was gonna bring some, like the Lorena.
I know, that was the first question I asked before we went live. Was like, "Where's your desserts?" And they're like, "Oh, we didn't bring any because you're not with us." And yeah, it would have been really sad because you would be eating and I wouldn't have been eating it.
Look at all this. They're like
so
artwork.
Pretty.
It's not.
Yeah, it's
not like you're just getting an apple pie. You're getting like art.
Yeah, she was weaving on that one. Look at that one.
Look at that one. That's cookie. That's
like
all meticulously
placed.
Yeah,
and
it's hours
very creative.
Work, really.
Yeah, because honestly, like,
it's beautiful.
That is like, I don't even want, like, if I order that, I wouldn't even want to ruin it. Like,
right, same. We just look at it and just be like, "Oh, it's so pretty."
It's so pretty, but I don't want to.
And if you don't want to order a whole big one, she does individual sizes.
Yeah, little tartlets, which are super easy. So
look at this one, strawberry kiwi tart. I've never seen such.
Nice. So that leads into the last question, I think, which is, what is your favorite dessert? Yeah. Ooh. What is your favorite dessert to make?
Oh, to make.
Or is it just always,
or is there
you love making each one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to make and to eat. And so
they're
two
definitely two different. To eat, I am a huge fan of like any sort of like cream based dessert. So like I love like either like, oh my gosh, it's a really good question. I would say like a creme brulee probably would be like my
Nice.
yeah, I know it's so like
Yeah, because you don't sell that.
Yeah.
I know that's the thing, but it would be
But that's what you would eat.
I love like, yeah, that's what I would eat. Like something with like custard, vanilla. I'm very basic when it comes to like what kind of flavor I like. Although I like a creme brulee with maybe like infused Earl Grey or something like that. So there's a little bit more depth beyond like a vanilla. When it comes to making tarts, I would say really like that's why I started it the dessert shop and focused on tarts because it was the one thing that I felt like was the most I guess creatively stimulating, which sounds bizarre.
Right.
It sounds because like
dessert to make. So
because when you think tart, it is complicated because you're not buying. You have to make everything, the base,
the tart shell,
the shell,
the filling,
and then the topping.
Yeah. And whether it's the jelly on top to like top it off and flavor it. But yeah, I think that one's the most interesting because I don't like making things that are just so like easy and basic. That's why I'm gonna kind of maybe insult some people here, but I don't like making American desserts just because I feel like it's just the most like basic in terms of technique and it's super easy and I like to challenge myself and do something different and it sounds kind of crazy and that's why I spend like several hours on something and then may or may not work. I mean, there's so many tarts that I've made over the past few months that I've thrown out because they were not good in taste, but maybe they look pretty, but like I'm not gonna obviously put them up and sell them if they're not delicious.
Right.
Take a picture
That's
for
good
the
that
Instagram.
you test them out first. Yeah.
That's a good one. Maybe some like failed compilation that I can do in the stories of like all the tarts. Funny story, actually. This was years ago because I mean, I was still baking at the time. I was doing all sorts of desserts and I was making an opera cake, which I don't think I can do anymore because it was so like emotionally exhausting and upsetting for me. But
gosh.
It basically involves like thin layers of cake. That's about, I want to say like 8 layers, really thin. And then within each layer, you lay out like a thin chocolate ganache. And then you enrobe it with chocolate. And so I had spent so long doing this thing, hours, and at that point it was around like 2 a.m. And I, at the time, did not have the proper equipment. I was working in my own kitchen in a shitty apartment in East Hollywood, and so I was like, oh my God, how am I going to enrobe this? Usually you put the cake on a wire rack and then you enrobe it and then it's easy. But I thought, okay, I need to be creative, which, baking involves creativity and trying to be resourceful and with what you have. And so I had held the cake over the sink and getting ready to enrobe it. And so I enrobed it, but I guess I didn't wait for the chocolate to like cool off to a good temperature because you can't just enrobe like a cake with a melted chocolate without it being under a certain temperature. And so, I mean, maybe it was like 10 degrees higher than it should be. And the entire cake just slid off my hand into the sink. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. I spent so long and it was for somebody's birthday. And I was like, all right, I don't even know how to react. And so I had a picture of me because I was so upset, like of me with the cake slid. Somebody had taken a picture of me and my eyes were super red and I looked so angry and I was just like, so over this. I can't believe this happened. And I'll never forget that time. I'm like, all right, well, that's a little too risky, and I will never do that again because that's just wasted.
We need you need to do that bloopers.
Yes,
Like
bloopers.
a little reel of it might look good, but it wasn't good.
Yeah, here's the behind the scenes of like the struggle.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because we definitely should do that too.
Because in your mind you think, oh, this is gonna work. This is gonna work. This is awesome. Yeah. But then you don't. You don't know. You don't know until you try.
That's actually the interesting part of even baking in general, because you don't know if like you think, okay, I've done it before. Sometimes you've done something before, which, for instance, I've made cream puffs so many times, and for the life of me, like it could be just another kitchen. I like to think that way, maybe because I'm like, it's not me, it's something else, it's an inanimate object, So I've tried so many times to replicate a cream puff, like when I go to my parents' house, for instance, because my brother always talks about, can you make me a cream puff? And for the life of me, every single time I go to bake at my parents' kitchen, never works out. I'm like,
that's so weird.
How is this possible? There's maybe the vibes in this house. Like, I don't know, like there's some spiritual energy. Maybe I need to cleanse the kitchen with some sage or something. Yeah. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, you never know. And you just kind of have to accept it and not be upset with yourself, because it's all part of learning. And and
you can't take it at heart, because I can imagine you don't have your equipment, you don't have your measuring cups. Maybe it's a different oven.
That's what I like to think. But I was using a stovetop.
Because you don't have it. You don't need an oven, right?
Well, yeah, to make the
I don't even know.
To make the shell, right? Because you have to. It's almost like you're making a churro. Like you start with you put it in flour and some butter, and then you like put it in the stove, and you kind of make that batter.
Oh, I didn't know it was like that. It was made like that.
Yeah. And so, I mean,
I know nothing. All of these terminologies in the cake land, I'm like,
now if your brother wants a cream puff, he has to go to your apartment.
I know, seriously. He always brings it up, and it's almost like I have PTSD. I'm like, no, I'm not making this thing. No, can you come up with something else? Like, please. And he likes to torment me, and he's like, cream puff? Like, he's like, oh, I want a cream puff for my birthday. I'm like, yeah, sure. Can you come up with something else that I feel like I can actually enjoy doing?
Well, that brings me up to my next question. Look at Lily over there.
Oh, she's getting tired.
Our dog, every time we like scream or I laugh loud, she comes up, she looks at us like,
she's like, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Good? Can you guys
like quiet down?
So bringing that to the dogs, you should make dog treats.
I know.
Dog, because I cook for my dogs, and I put peas in their food, like, and pea protein.
That's what I use.
That's what you use.
Yeah.
And do you know the research? Like, pea protein is like as much, like, it's really good for you, right?
Super, super good for you. So I use the pea protein and the brown rice protein, and those are what make up the complete amino profile, which is super, super good for you. So
it's even better than like a steak, probably.
Oh, 100%. And those are both, they're vegan. So like, if you're one to stay away from animal, I personally don't even like the idea of having protein that's like animal based. And even though my desserts, I can do, vegan based desserts. I have a couple on my page, but for the most part, I do use dairy products. But the idea of like a protein that's like animal based to me kind of, I don't know. So definitely going towards like the veggie, but that's a great idea. And we had talked about this right before we went live. And I think like even just the idea of like making little tarts that are,
for their birthdays,
are so cute.
Like Janelle and I will totally buy some.
We need some for Halloween.
Yeah.
That's your next project, because October is coming. And we always get treats from our other girl, our client who makes
Yeah.
dog treats, and she makes them not protein based, but she makes really cool treats too for pets.
That's such a good idea.
And she makes chocolate, amazing vegan
Flourless.
stuff.
For dogs?
Flourless
No,
chocolate.
for us.
No,
No,
for humans.
Yeah, no.
For humans, no chocolate for the dogs.
No chocolate.
No.
Definitely no.
But
that would be great.
That would be amazing because she has a dog and she has a cat, but her dog is named Bacon. And yeah,
Oh my gosh.
so
it's adorable.
You already have dog models.
I already have some guinea pigs that I can test them out for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my family has a dog as well.
Yeah, you have a doggy.
I mean, it's so obvious that I should probably,
All right,
if you like to and if you want to, then definitely there is that market. We are here for it.
Great idea, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the Pachitos will be honored to test.
They totally would.
Sorry.
Yeah, Bacon will eat anything.
Yeah. Bacon will be the number one fan. He's so cute.
Bacon.
Do you have him there?
Show
him on the screen.
Oh my gosh, I have to go get him. But yeah, I mean, we will bring our dogs together so that we're both kind of, I feel like I'm always going on. But yeah, if you show Lily and all your dogs, I will go get my dog too.
They're sleeping. Like I said, they were looking.
They're sleeping. Yeah, Bacon's sleeping too.
Lily's looking at me like, can you guys keep it down? Like, I know you're having fun over there. This is a great podcast.
But I need my beauty sleep.
Yeah. Or she's listening because she wants to talk about the bakery. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe she's like, oh, you guys are talking about desserts, but why are you lying to me? Like, there isn't any.
Right? Yeah. So just rolling the eyes.
Yeah, that's what she was doing. We always do this 5 speed questions, 1 minute answer. Just really fun questions. I don't think it's nothing serious.
Sure.
So we're just gonna ask you, maybe it depends because some of them we repeat them.
Okay.
But we want to hear your answer.
Okay.
And the first thing that comes into mind. So Janelle, do you want to go first or I go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, she's ready.
My necklace is falling apart. But okay, so the question is, what is the best compliment you have received about your desserts so far? Like other than like, oh, it tastes great, but was there like an actual like a compliment?
The best compliment I got was that I can't believe these are real. I think that was like, oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think
that's awesome.
These are real, and then they're actually good for you. That was really cool to hear, because especially when you spend a lot of time making something, and I think sometimes you can be a little bit self-critical of your work, then somebody actually, says something like that. You're like, all right, well, maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, I think that was it.
Awesome.
And
Lorena, yours.
Okay, mine. That's a good compliment.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had a choice between 2 superpowers, being invisible or flying, which would you choose?
Flying for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have a lot of dreams about flying, which is interesting. But I mean,
I used to have a lot of dreams as a kid, for sure. I had a lot of dreams as a kid flying.
Oh,
there they are.
the dogs
They're
are
awake. They're awake. Guys.
Yeah, well, we live in LA, so of all the places we're in traffic, like you want to get from one place to another as quickly as possible, and like going from G-Way to
to your house
where I currently live, which is in Los Feliz. I mean, that's that is a whole trek. So that's probably about
Wow.
45 minutes drive in traffic, which is terrible. And so definitely that. I mean, I have no interest in being invisible. For what reason?
And we did, Janelle, was it you or not? Oh yeah, you're the one that told me about that. There was like a research of like leaders they always pick flying.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
yeah, like born leaders, yeah, would pick flying. But that was the research that was like, I think it was a couple of years ago that they did that research. So it's awesome. I think that we all kind of chose that. I don't know. Lorena didn't choose it, but why did you choose invisible?
I chose to be invisible.
What? Why?
I don't know. I was like,
you're such a social person. Why would you want to be invisible? So you can like sneak around?
Yeah,
and,
like
be like secretly. But I feel like it's total opposite of. You're right. It's total opposite of her. But maybe that's why she wants to kind of like, okay, let me just get away for a little bit and then observe people.
You know that meme when like the Simpson, Homer Simpson, when he goes into the bush, he's like,
oh yeah, that's you.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to do. But I guess, so and then Janelle's like, well, leaders pick flying. I'm like,
just like, whatever.
Well, it's just studies. Who cares? My cousin was like, who cares? You should be able to pick whatever you want.
No, I like that. I like that.
No matter what you pick, it's correct.
That's correct.
Okay, my turn. What is your favorite book at the moment that you're reading? If you are a reader, or something that inspired you somehow in life, if you're not reading presently.
I'm trying to think of it because I have one in mind. It's by George Lois, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. I would have to get back to you on that, but
gotcha.
He is a famous advertiser back in the 50s, I believe. And this is like one of those really quick reads, almost like a coffee table book, I would say, but I think it really made a difference in my life. And I've had it since I was in high school. And is it The Art of Not Giving a Fuck? I forgot what it was. Sorry, I'll have to get back to you. But
is it that one? I think I have it. It's orange?
No, I would have to look it up, but maybe if you can find it really quickly. George Lois, Lois.
What's his Lois? There is.
It's a white book.
She's faster than me.
Damn Good Advice.
Yes, that one. Damn Good Advice.
Damn Good Advice.
Definitely check it out. If you're just a creative and you need some sort of little like push in the right direction or inspiration. I really like advertising. That's another part of me that is a little bit of a passion of mine. I have countless of books on advertising. I'm one of the few people probably in life that loves commercials if they're done well, of course. But this one I bought years ago when I was in high school.
For people with talent.
Yes. In Paris. And I still have it and I still refer to it and read through it every once in a while. And it just has some really interesting like advice on just, how to kind of be inspired and how to like, I think a lot of it has the methodology of like Deirdre Rams, which if you guys don't know who he is, he's like all about like less is more, simplicity and minimalism. So really cool book and really easy read, I'd say, if you're interested in kind of spending maybe a couple hours and finding a way to like be inspired.
It's always good.
I love that.
Yeah, it's always good to find a good inspirational.
They have it in Spanish too.
In
Spanish?
There you
go. Buen consejo.
There you go.
Para gente con talento.
Well, I know. I saw it and I was like, "Ooh, I like
Janelle's gonna give us a narration
it." In
of the
Espanol.
book. In
Yeah,
Espanol.
that's really good.
I love
Spanish.
reading Spanish. Gracias. Yeah. No, I like reading Spanish, but I don't I don't speak at all. But awesome answer. That's cool. I'm putting it right now in my Amazon like list, you know, when you
That's
save
what
it
I'm
for
doing
later.
too. I was
Awesome.
like,
We're
Okay.
twinsies always. Okay.
Um,
Yes. Okay, you're next.
I guess. Okay.
I feel like I'm in like one of those first dates. You're like 20 questions. Like, we get to know you. Okay. Would you like to? Do you?
I know. It's not very fast fire rounds,
Yeah,
and we're
no,
not
it's not
timing
fire
you, so
questions because we're still like.
that's a little less pressure.
Okay. I'll pick this one. What is your favorite? Well, no, we already talked about this. Okay. What's your favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving. We were actually talking
Oh.
about this on the drive home with my boyfriend and I. I love Thanksgiving because I love, I mean, of course, food.
Yeah.
That makes sense why we're here. But I love coming together with loved ones, family, friends, and just celebrating something, you know, being together. I actually don't come from a large family, so I'm very envious of people who do. And I've always just craved that sense of community, and that holiday just brings so much. It's so special to me because I'm able to do that and like be with a bunch of people that I love. So yeah, I mean, besides the food, it's just hours of, you know, conversation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love even the romantic idea of like having an uncle, like, and his drama and like people arguing and kids running around yelling and you know, getting in trouble and like dogs barking, and just that idea is like wonderful to me. And I love that holiday so much over any holiday.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Is it because you
I
can
love
make your
that.
tarts?
Yeah. The data
And your tarts are seasonal, of course. I'm sure. Yes, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of that this, you know, holiday for sure. Thanksgiving, Christmas for sure. We'll definitely be hitting you up. Okay, my question is, what's the biggest surprise you've had in the last few months? And why was that a surprise? Like, was there a surprise that you had in the past few months that you were like, whoa, you know, good. Hopefully it's a good one. But I mean, any surprises?
A few months. Oh, good question. I guess I would say off the top of my head, I would say I'm surprised how many people would ask me about like what's going on with my business in terms of like, oh, you know, I can't get enough of your tarts, or like I can't wait to order another one, or like I'm surprised that people are that interested in, you know, what I'm doing in terms of baking, because for so long it was kind of a thing that I kind of kept to myself, and I would occasionally produce some, you know, whenever somebody's birthday was around or whatnot. So I'm surprised that people actually care, and there's so much support around me, and that I think is the most surprising thing. Yeah, for me.
Good answer.
Awesome.
Okay, what is your ultimate favorite movie?
Oh my God. Ultimate favorite movie?
Like if you had to pick one and you can only watch it every day, which one would it be?
Probably Snatch.
Snatch? Wait, remind me of that. Is that the one that they take the kids? No.
It's really I think Christo actually mentioned it, so I'm kind of boring because I'm saying the same.
Well, I'm kind of surprised because I'm like, did he say that? Because I know he definitely said
I love
Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
But
I love any.
Isn't this one?
Oh, Yes.
No,
Not that one.
A different one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
like I love any sort of Guy
Snack.
Ritchie movie.
Oh, Guy Ritchie.
Ah,
Yeah, he's a good
Guy
director.
Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with his style, and I love those kind of like, I'm gonna like steal like or steal from a bank, kind of like those. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I need to
It's
see
with
that.
I think it's with
Brad Pitt, right?
and yeah, it's such a cool film.
Can't
It's
even
an
see
old
that.
one, but
No,
I would say.
always the old ones are the
Oldie
best.
but a goodie.
And I have to agree with you. That director, he is just the way he uses the color and the scenery and
He also like I
everything.
love the narration, and like it's so witty, and like
Mhm.
he cuts scenes in a really cool, like fast-paced way that it just makes it interesting, where versus this like I for the life of me just can't watch any sort of like dramatic film or any like dramatic TV show, for instance, like Breaking Bad. I mean, I tried it and I'm like, I
you
just
didn't like
can't.
it?
Yeah, just like
I watched it like, I don't know, one season, and I'm just like, this is just too much emotions for me. Like, I already have enough emotions in my life. Like, do I need to
right.
on top of it?
Like, do I need to cry more?
No, I don't need
get
that.
mad
Thank you
or
very much.
you're gonna get like
Too much. Yeah. So definitely more of an action flick kind of girl for sure.
That's cool. Awesome.
Okay.
Nice.
One more, right?
Okay. One more?
Yeah.
Okay, one more. Let's see. What makes you feel like your best self?
Ooh. Definitely when I go and work out. I think that is when I feel the best. If I don't, I mentioned this earlier on, if I don't go out and I'm like in the house all day, I feel like shit and I don't feel like myself, and I kind of am in my own head. But if I'm going to either the gym or, most of the time I'd go to the gym and like, box, or if I'm out on a hike, I feel so much better. The endorphin rush, and just I feel even just like, confident wise, I don't have to. It's funny how much of a difference it is, because you're like, oh, I think there's like these memes online, or these like videos on social about that. It's like, after one day of doing like being on a diet and working out, and then you feel like, oh my god, I'm so skinny, like like pounds, but in actuality you didn't really, you just feel that confident.
Right. There's a picture of a dog like looking at himself in the mirror like
I look good, but it's like really like you only spent an hour and it was the day one,
but it does
feel
feel
so
good. You feel good, like and I feel like that's what people need. Like, pick something that you like, do it, even if it's walking or hiking, whatever it is, because exercise, like, even if you don't want to afterwards, you feel like you're like, I'm a beast, and
be consistent with it. Like, try and, there's days when you just don't want to do
At
it,
all.
You're dragging your feet, but then I like to think like, what's my excuse? Why am I not? Is it because I'm overwhelmed and I'm like back-to-back meetings, or like I'm physically injured because of some sort of, workout? If that's not the case, then like, just go out. I mean, 15 minutes or whatever, there's no excuse. And the older you get, the harder, it is to develop that habit. And I think isn't there like a rule that's like what 80 or not 80
23 days
23 days
it becomes a habit.
So it's
24,
hard.
I think it was
24 or 23.
I'm not
23?
sure.
Oh, maybe 23.
Something like
I
that.
don't know.
We're here changing rules. We don't know what episode
Spicy
this is.
we
are living
We're a hot mess here today. We are real, so it's fine. I hope you guys are having fun with us, because this is why we do it. This is why we do it. We don't do it for we don't do it for like the marketing or all of like what you were saying, how you get stressed, just like going through the motions of, oh, the marketing, this and that and all this, and it gets really stressful. We're just here having a great time. So hopefully you guys are all having fun too. And we actually have, and we have someone who I posted on my Facebook, and I had a question here, or a suggestion rather, that we should cook together by well, there we go. There's Robert Torres who said it on your live.
Oh, that.
But I also put it on mine. But Robert Torres said you should do a show where you guys get together and cook something live.
Oh, yeah, he's like,
great idea, Robert.
Samples. You should do a show when you guys get. Yeah, I love that.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Robert. I failed you. But that's so great. I know we should do a part 2, and we'll definitely we can set it up in the kitchen and like
especially your kitchen, because I know if you're particular, because I was looking over my kitchen and I'm like, it's looking like a lot of stuff in there.
It's all good. We can do it either
with your kitchen.
We'll do it live raw. It wouldn't be like Food Network where we like have everything already ready, and you know how they do it where they're like, I'm gonna put this tart in the oven, but funny enough, I have it. You're like, no, it's not how it works. But we'll do something that'll be really fun. If we can do one of those like
you teach us.
I can teach you, or
through Zoom.
Or we can do something where, we both do it at the same time, and we'll see who, like, what the results are.
All three of us.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. Yeah, oh my God, that'd be so fun.
That would be so cute.
Yeah, that'd be so cute. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Hey, maybe
I'm excited now. Great idea, Robert.
I love it.
Good job.
So we're gonna plan that.
Yeah, let's do it. That would be super fun.
And maybe we'll make the dog treats, because Robert has dog with Jenny, and so everybody's a dog fan here.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do dog treats.
Well, awesome. I think that was it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Yay.
A great talk.
Yeah.
She was
my invisible cup.
Oh, Janelle, I got her bag bomb.
I got it too.
It
does work.
It does work, right? And this is not a commercial.
Yeah.
But this
episode is brought to you by
Bag bomb.
No, but I got it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Because of her hands.
Yeah, I will try to.
And then you got it. Why did I recommend it to you?
I got it for my dog and his paws.
Yeah, for the licking of the paws. And then for me, I burned my wrist really bad, and that the good thing is that all that stuff, it helps you for the burn to go and the scarring to go away.
There you go, because I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to get that in your hands.
Definitely not.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We had fun.
This was awesome. I can't believe an hour flew by.
I know. This is an hour and 11 minutes.
That's insane, guys.
Well, thank you again for watching, guys. And stay tuned, because she's going to come back and going to teach us how to bake. So stay tuned.
Yeah, tune into the next episode. Have a great
night. Adios. Good night.